Today, I'm talking about your risk of developing a disease. You heard that right. It turns out that there's an online test sponsored by these fine folks that will tell you if you are at high risk of having pre-diabetes, which is of course a major risk factor for type 2 diabetes. Briefly, pre-diabetes is a state where your blood sugar is elevated but not quite high enough to diagnose diabetes. And pre-diabetes, while not quite as bad as type 2 diabetes, carries a higher than normal risk of heart attack and stroke and, of course, development of diabetes proper. Now, there's debate in the medical community about the over-medicalization of lab values that may fall within a normal range for some people, but the development of an online risk tool, not for diabetes, but for pre-diabetes, seems to put the stamp of the diabetes establishment firmly in the pre-diabetes is a real disease camp. Personally, I'm a bit sick of the pre-diagnoses, pre-cancer, pre-hypertension. No one is ever diagnosed with pre-cholera, but fine. As a public health issue, maybe motivating people with a bit of scary-sounding medical ease is okay. When you visit doihaveprediabetes.org, you are presented with this friendly screen. Basically, you answer 7 risk factor questions. Family history of diabetes, BMI, that sort of thing, and then you get a score that either looks like this or like this. Now, here's where I get worried. According to a research letter in the Journal of the American Medical Association, if you all were to go take this risk survey, 3 out of 5 of you would be deemed high risk. And if you're over age 60, make that 4 out of 5. This translates to more than 70 million people across the US. Many of these people may have prediabetes for what it's worth, but many won't. And frankly, if 80% of people over age 60 are being told to talk to their doctor about prediabetes screening, maybe we should just bite the bullet and do the screening on everyone. Of course, we don't have data to support that type of public health intervention. In that sense, this test represents an end run around conventional guideline-based care. I'll be generous and say that those who created the nearly always positive test had their hearts in the right place, but I would recommend chatting with your doctor about prediabetes in person. Let the internet do what it was meant to do, diagnosing all your vague somatic complaints as cancer. For MedPage Today, I'm Perry Wilson.